Hello and welcome to this next episode clip in the Lead, Convert, Retain workshop series. I'm joined today, as usual, by my good friends John Preston from Baseline Digital Marketing and Keith Small from Your Success. My name's Guy Griffiths from GG Fit. And the idea of these sessions is we have just little chats, conversations about all things to do with gym and health club lead generation, sales conversion, and membership retention. And we have been chatting on and off, as the three of us always do, about all sorts of topics. One of the ones that keeps coming back up is GLP-1, which is very, I wouldn't say on trend, but there's lots of conversations about it in the fitness industry at the moment. And basically, if you're not aware, GLP-1 or Ozempic, or there's lots of other names for it, but basically weight loss drugs, people taking medication, injections, or there's tablet forms coming now as well to lose weight. And some people in the fitness industry see that as competition. Other people see it as an opportunity. So we basically wanted to record one of our chats to get some more opinions, get some more thoughts out there. And as we go through, if you've got thoughts on what we're saying, if you agree with us or think it's controversial, then please drop a note in the comments. We'll come back to you as soon as we can. But let's kick off as usual with John talking about generating leads. It is different when we're talking about weight loss drugs.
To a point, it is. I did some research recently, right at the beginning of this year, as to what fitness market trends were and were potentially going to be for this year. And I shared that information with both of you as well. And GLP-1 is certainly within the sort of gym environments something which is becoming more and more and more of a big thing, and something which we really need to look at and get involved in, whether you agree with it or not. So the way that I always look at the marketing is very, very persona led. So it's all about the person as opposed to the facility. So in a way, yes, the messaging does have to be different when we're talking about GLP-1, because the problem that people are having is different. Whereas before we've done, the standard things, which could be weight loss, it could be mental health based, how good you're going to feel about being in the gym. This is very, very different, because all of a sudden people aren't wanting to come and use our facilities because they're looking to get fit or to lose weight, because they've lost weight and they're probably feeling fitter because they're not carrying that extra 4 stone. But what the issue is probably more of a muscle retention. So they're losing muscle. They kind of got this skinny fat going on, and the messaging that we're doing with regards to the lead generation really needs to talk very specifically to that problem, not really sort of calling out or shaming people, saying, are you on skinny jabs? Stop cheating, get in here. It's really, so how do we be part of that process? Because like it or loathe it, it's happening, and there is an opportunity for our facilities to be involved and help people to do it in the right way, if anything. And
Yeah.
so
So
obviously,
some of the workshops I've been doing, I've heard fitness managers and instructors say, we've got people coming in, sidling up to us and almost having a quiet word in the ear saying, I'm on the weight loss drugs, I'm on the GLP-1s. Can you help me? So people are
mm,
coming into clubs and looking for help. So it's making that an easier pathway. That's what you're saying, right?
And I think that's the thing, and I get on jumping on John here, but it's that thing with our industry is we're here to help. And if the way people need or perceive the help they require, if we're ready to assist with that, then more's the better. And the thing for me that I've seen with people that are inquiring with regards to membership and wanting to start a journey is, as John said, the needs are different, but we can support them. And for some people, it's looking for a way to, at some point, be able to step away from the medication. For others, it's a way of maybe trying to form habits. And very often the thing that I've seen from working with people within the industry in terms of helping people join and get started is that the biggest fear for people coming through is, I'm losing the weight, but I'm not changing my habits. I'm still not necessarily eating the right things. I'm still not physically active as I need to be. I need to address that. But I've now got the confidence to be here because I feel like I've lost weight. I feel like I can do some activity. Now, how can you help? And I think if we're ready and even we need to be empathetic for that, the way we talk to our customers and potential customers when they're thinking of joining means that we can have those conversations and steer them in the right way. As what John said, is we're not trying to push it to one side or something. We're here to help. So what are those needs and how can we do it? And if we can understand that through our conversations when people come in, and it's connected to the marketing that happens in terms of, people are seeing our ads in terms of, let's see if we can help you do something different, then it's a lovely joint up approach in terms of how we join people up, help them get started, and then lead them into the next step in terms of having an induction, knowing that their goals and their needs are very specific. So those helping out in the gym or classes or anywhere else are able to go, here's how we help now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's the bit that I'm kind of feeling from people quite a bit. So
Tell us more about the personas though, John, and that concept for GLP-1.
So again, before starting any sort of campaigns, you need to really take a step back and say, right, who's using it? Why are they using it? What problem are they trying to solve? How have we got an answer to that? And then create your messaging around that. So, some people do, you could have guys in the 20s using it and it's very much a health related thing. You could have ladies who are middle-aged using it and they're using it because they're overweight and never managed to lose it before. And it's a confidence thing. So there's lots of different reasons why people are using it. And you really need to be very, very specific. Yeah, as I say, let's say it was a guy in his early 30s and he's been overweight and I don't know, potentially there's sort of indications of type 2 diabetes and he's got onto the GLP-1 and we're sort of targeting that kind of health angle to that. And our advertising and our messaging is very specific and targeted to that demographic, which is why I'm quite a big fan of kind of paid strategies because you can laser focus who you're sending this to. So from my point of view, I can create that sort of lead with exactly that sort of message and then pass that on to Keith, who's then got a lead coming in who's saying, I'm interested in finding out more about your facility and the programs you got to offer. He knows that it's a male in his 30s. His objective is health related. So before my lead has even stepped through the door, I've given Keith all of this information, which obviously, I've worked with Keith for quite a while, and that conversation before you even get into the gym, I'm actually giving him a load of information before he's even had that. So his questioning is probably going to be slightly different. He's ahead of the game with regards to who he's got coming in and who he's talking to and what he knows he's going to offer at the end of it.
yeah, it's a really good point. And I think that's the whole thing. I'm given that information as well. It doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be your opening questions, but it's still you can code for it and you can do an even better job of asking the right questions in terms of how we can help, but then being even better at listening. So we can direct any information shared in terms of support, facilities, programs, classes, courses, inductions, programs that we do to let people feel confident. And as I said previously, if this is now the thing for people in terms of being able to, they've now got the confidence to come in, but it's about improving habits, doing the physical side of things to enable them to feel fitter, healthier, and to be able to, as you said, make sure that they're not losing muscle. They're able to kind of work in a way that's appropriate. The information flows across the club in terms of how we're supporting our members. And I think we still have our programs, inductions and programs and so on that will work for us, but we just tweak it slightly for each of those individuals that come through. And I think the end product basically is you've got people that feel confident and happy what they're doing, but appreciate the fact that this is a long-term solution now. They've had the starting point, but now here's a lifestyle. Here's a way of living rather than just, I'm doing it for 6 months because I have a short goal. It's like, well, here's your life now. Here's what you can do to maintain healthy habits for as long as you choose to. Does that make sense? That's the kind of thing that I view.
Yeah, I'd be kind of interested as well, Guy, to kind of know what your thoughts are on this or how we're encouraging facilities to adjust what they're doing with regards to from induction to longer term. How are we or how should we be managing the GLP-1 journey within the clubs for a longer term retention strategy?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I've only recently been converted to the fact that there are people in our clubs. You know, a lot of the clubs I've been working at lately have said we have got people in the gym. Honestly, I was a bit more cynical. And from a health seeker point of view, I think we should be helping people before they get on it with healthy lifestyle choices, the kind of things that Keith's talking about. But to GLP-1, when people are joining, we need to understand. So from the processes that you've both spoken about, understand their goal, or even just understand that they are on that weight loss medication and might need a more specific program. Certainly, I would mandate that they have some form of onboarding appointment, because um, I would suggest that they are more likely to drop out, and therefore probably they don't need more TLC, but they need a different kind of journey. We have to talk about journeys, and it's easy to have a standard journey, to have one journey, but you will need different journeys for different people. It's easy to understand and to control and to measure if you've got a standard one, but these kind of members definitely need something a bit different, just to make sure that they are going to make one more visit, which is a very simple way of looking at retention. Is that person coming back again? You know, when are they coming back again? But, you know, are we talking to them about specific program? Is it strength? Is it muscle maintenance, or those kind of things? But then also the way we talk to them if they haven't cut. So a lot of what we do is people who've become absent, who are in recovery or in a dormant mode, and sending them a cheeky "come on back for a class, we miss you," is not going to hit home as well with these types of member. So we do need to meet the members where they are and tailor the messaging in exactly the same way that both of you guys are saying it needs to be more tailored. So having the headline is having people come into your clubs and on GLP-1, you can't treat them the same. But if you do treat them differently, they could be members for life. And I think we can also help them to carry on their journey to come off the drug, which they need to be doing at some point, and support them through that as well. So, yeah, that it's the same message, which is why we get on so well and like chatting about these kind of things. But from a retention point of view, that's my point, which then goes full circle back to leads and conversions. I think. What else? Anything else you guys would add?
Well, it's funny. It ties in what you said about, you know, people coming to us and looking at lifestyles and staying for longer. But there's a part of this, and this is from recent experiences that I've seen. You may have noticed similar as well. Is that when people are taking their weight loss medication and when they're exercising and they're changing habits, their friends and family members tend to notice. Of course they do. There's a change, there's a conversation, and people seem to be more open now about what they're doing to achieve those results and so on. So for me, there's also a nice possibility that where you have members of your facility who are taking the medication, who are being supported, there is all the possibility there that if they're seeing it for themselves and their friends or family members who maybe choose to embrace a healthier lifestyle or have taken the medication now feel ready to join them. So you're starting to join up groups of people working out together and supporting. So do you create a community within there, or is it just the fact that you are able to look after people's needs? So that conversation about working out with a friend, bringing somebody to work out with, having a partner to exercise with, starts to grow that for you as well. So you're seeing, you know, John's fantastic marketing bringing people in, but then you've also got that sense of community and people bringing their friends in as well. So just an observation, it's a shared thing.
Yeah, but so a question back to you, John, on my point about people signing up to instructors in the gym and almost confessing secretly that yeah, they're on GLP-1. Have you seen any testimonials yet of, you know, people who have, you know, almost come out? Because it does still feel a little bit like that. There's more people talking about it now, more people saying, I am on it. I can think of a few high profile ones in the fitness industry even. But getting those stories out so that people aren't, you know, don't feel shameful, or, you know, yeah, the marketing isn't going to be, are you on GLP-1? Come to us. It's more about the problems we solve.
I have not seen lots of testimonials about this. And actually, that's a really good point, because perhaps there should be some testimonials about this and actually making it more of a conversation, you know, because again, I think we've discussed this before, and we've all got possibly slightly varying views on the usage of GLP-1 and whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. certainly from back in my PT days, I remember people taking weight loss drugs, and it wasn't GLP-1, and it definitely wasn't people. So I mean, I think it's a step up. But yeah, I think that's a really valid point, and I'm probably now going to go out and ask a load of PTs if we can do some testimonials for clients that have been on GLP-1, because I think that would be great.
Okay, you can do it first.
Yeah, reach out.
Perfect. So in terms of let's do a quick takeaway each, and we're just doing this on the fly. So I'm putting you guys on the spot. So let me help you by coming up with one myself. Well, actually, I'm going to go back to John's point about personas and understanding the problem, because if you can get that, or if you can get people in not through a certain funnel, but you know what I mean. If you know what people are coming in with that specific goal, so this could be GLP-1, it could be anything else. If you take that with them through their journey, and also, that's now a second one. If you know when that goal changes, maybe they're on a different path, or you're just going to talk to them slightly differently. For me, that's the GLP-1 story. Is there a takeaway from this chat from either of you two?
I think, yeah, it's probably the same message that has always been true, that it's always about the individual. And when it comes down to any of your marketing or your messaging or your sales or any of your communications, it's always going to be right person, right message, right time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the final bit, just to add, because you two had ones that I was going to do, so they've just come up third, hopefully. My one really is coming to the idea that we help people with all sorts of needs and goals and motivations to come to our facilities. So ask the right questions, listen to those needs, and tailor what we do to be able to assist people, whatever their goals are. And if we can do that, then people feel welcome, feel comfortable, and they're more likely to want to kind of use your facilities and feel great about doing so. So that would be my little bit, to be fair.
Perfect. Okay. So, and I mean, the cheesy one is, if you have a joined up approach through lead, which way are we going? Lead, convert, and retain, you'll have a more successful organization, facility, club, whatever. Because if you're doing each one in a silo, it breaks down, which is why the three of us chat so often and get together for events or consultancy projects or education or whatever else. So if you want a little bit of one of us, get in touch. John Preston, Keith Small, Guy Griffiths, find us on LinkedIn. Give this video a like wherever you're watching it. And yeah, if you want to follow up with some comments, please do. If you want to get in touch, then reach out to any of us. Thanks for listening. Thanks, guys.
Good talking,
Thank you.
chaps. Thank you.